Good morning, you guys. How's it going? Happy Wednesday. I actually had to look at my watch and remind myself what day it was. It's Wednesday. How are y'all doing? Good morning, Wick for Stops. Good morning, Paul. Paul, you're always here, first thing in the morning, right when I sign on, saying good morning. I love it. Happy to see ya. Good afternoon, Graham. You must be over in the UK or something over there. Good morning, good morning. Ireland. Cool. All right, so taking a look here, I actually am in a long in my Tradeify accounts. We bounced off of this previous day low pretty nicely. So took a long, my stop loss is a little above break even at this point. Just targeting this area up here at the Asia low, and also that's where the London anchored VWAP is. So we'll see if we get up there. I might close it out early if something doesn't change quickly before the market opens. That way I don't lose out on my position. So just kind of scrolling out to higher time frames. Yesterday we had this good bounce at that 600 level, which was kind of our previous day low, and we're defending it right now, but we've been trending down all night and this morning. So I wonder if this is kind of just a little bounce and then we're going to get a rejection and go lower. So I do have a couple of levels marked off. This area that I had marked off yesterday at like 560 to 570-ish, which also is an untested point of control. Some of you guys might have heard me talking about this yesterday. But right here, this point of control has not been retested yet at 568. So that's a possible target to the downside if it kind of just grabs that previous day low liquidity and decides to bounce. And then if we're going to continue lower, I do have a couple more targets. So right around 22,500 is a pretty big area of liquidity. There's also a lot of orders on Bookmap that have been sitting there yesterday and today. So that's a possible target to the downside. And then we have a couple lower down here too. Lots of support in the 22,400-ish area, 420. So that's possible downside. But we have been defending this 600 level pretty strongly. So if we hold this bounce, we could be going higher. So we'll see where we go. Right now we're below pretty much all the VWAPs. We're below yesterday's point of control. I have a lot of anchored VWAPs going on right now. This kind of maroon one is the start of the week VWAP, so from Sunday. And then this gold one is the all-time high VWAP. So I know it's a lot of lines, but it helps me see that like we're below everything. So as of now, I'm seeing this as just a little bounce off of yesterday's low and possible continuation to the downside. But we'll see what the market gives us as we open up. Did anyone else take any trades last night or this morning? Good morning, Chesniguez. Good morning from Australia. So I guess it's more like good afternoon, good evening to you. Jose, good morning, good morning. With this retracement on NQ, I wonder what gold's doing. I haven't even looked at it. I had that big move up yesterday on Monday. Since then, it's kind of just been chopping around. I don't know if any of you guys watch ES versus NASDAQ, but a lot of times, I don't really watch ES that much. Probably mostly because I trade with a laptop and then one extra screen. So it's not like I'm sitting here with 8 monitors. I feel like I could watch more screens if I had more monitors. But I noticed ES was a lot different than NQ yesterday. Like NQ had that big dump and was staying below VWAP most of the day yesterday. But ES was very different. It didn't have as much of a dump down and actually was above VWAP a lot of the day. Very interesting. Good morning, G-Man. Good morning, Coach Set. Wick for Stops is a gold lover. I know G-Man's a gold man too. During the Asia session, he likes to look at gold. Good morning, Charles. Graham said that 550 to 600 is a daily fair value gap, so it's bouncing off of that too. Yep. That's definitely been a big area, that 600 level. It's holding. If it does, it's kind of holding the top of the fair value gap. If it decides to come down and fill it, that 550 area is a good spot, which is kind of in line with that 560-ish that I have marked off. But we'll see. Definitely getting a bounce off of that previous day low. Yeah, Shaz Miguez, the ES and NQ usually trade the same. So yesterday was weird with ES being so different. Like I said, I kind of every once in a while check ES just to see. So when I glanced at it yesterday, I was like, weird. It's so different. Oh, gold got you last night. Yeah, I glanced at the chart. I didn't even look at it last night at all. But it looked pretty choppy last night. I had that nice run up, and then last night there wasn't really. I kind of just chopped around VWAP. I probably would have taken some losses if I tried to trade it too. Gold is hard, in my opinion. Like some days, it's great. Like on a day like this, you could have just entered long and then just rode it up forever. But then days like this, it's like, I don't know. Are we longing or are we shorting or are we just chopping? What are you guys thinking today? Do you think this previous day low is going to hold and we're going to continue up? Or do you think we're in for a bigger correction? We have lots of levels up above us that we could potentially reject. We have VWAP, we have point of control, we have even value area high could be a target that we reject from. There's lots of levels where this could just be a little bounce and then a move lower. But we have the market open. All right. That little pump at the market open helped me hit my target. That was cool. This purple anchor VWAP that I have is from the London session. So I'll remove it here in a little bit, but for now, that's kind of where we're rejecting. Yeah, G-Man, I was in a trade. I took this one here off of that bounce from previous day low. Kind of consolidated pretty nice there and took a long. The risk to reward was pretty good on it. And then I just targeted up here at Asia low and London anchored VWAP where we had some pretty good resistance. So started off the morning with a win in one account. So I'll be trading my futures desk with you guys today. And we have a giveaway later too. So we'll do that when we kind of hit a slow spot in the market or we're done trading or whatever. So we'll get to that later. But we have a top 1 futures account to give away, you guys. A 50K, their pro sim funded account. Yay, giveaways! I know that's why some of you show up. I know how it is. That's all right. I love it. Love seeing some new faces in the chat and our regulars. Hopefully better price action today. I agree. All right, so we broke through that London VWAP. Now we're hitting the regular session VWAP. If you guys stick around long enough, you're gonna learn my little color coordinated patterns here. I was thinking about it yesterday, actually. I should get like a little box in the corner with like a key so you guys know what all the little colors are. I always use the same one, so I know what they are in my head. You have ES on another screen and we're going the opposite direction. What is up with NQ and ES? So weird. Yeah, NQ's going up, ES is not. Very interesting. I mean, I know they're totally made up of different stocks and stuff, but it's very interesting that they're not running together these last couple days. All right, we're getting a rejection here at VWAP. We're only 4 minutes into the open, so I'm not in a rush to get into a trade. Just kind of interesting to see what's going to happen. I'm staying flexible today because I could see it either way. This previous day low held and there was a good bounce. But again, we have lots of spots up above where we could reject. So wouldn't be surprised if we're in for some more correction. Kind of stalling out right here. I wonder if we're getting ready to push up above VWAP. Let me put my anchored VWAP on the 8:30 candle. I know we had a couple people trade gold last night, or in general. Anyone else take a trade off of this previous day low? I love setting alerts because it helps me to be able to catch some of this stuff. Like, I wasn't sitting at my computer at 7 o'clock this morning, but I had an alert set at previous day low, which is, I mean, it's just a big level. And when it went off, I opened up my computer, was able to take a trade. So if you have your chart marked up beforehand and then set alerts at key levels, sometimes you can catch good stuff like that. Here we go, breaking through VWAP, coming up to yesterday's point of control. Shez Miguez, I think setting alerts has helped me a lot in my trading. Because I used to have major FOMO, feeling like if I wasn't staring at the screen all day, then I'm going to miss a trade. And obviously I've grown and know now that there's so much opportunity in the market that even if I miss an amazing trade, there's going to be something else that presents itself. But it helped a lot in the beginning to be able to just get up and walk away and not feel like I'm going to miss out on something. Because I can set an alert to be able to come back if something good presents itself. And that's why I got into trading too, which I'm sure is similar to a lot of you. I want to be able to make good money just with a couple hours a day. I don't want to have to stare at the screen all day. But if I find myself sitting in front of the screen all day, then what's the point? So it helps me to be able to, like I said, get up and walk away, be able to go do other stuff. Be Frosty, I'm here. Gold revenge mode. Uh-oh. Did you take some losses on gold? Man, we're just moving. Moving on up. Hasn't really stopped at any of these points of resistance. Yeah, Coach said there's always a trade coming. Even if you miss it today, there's going to be another opportunity tomorrow. Or if you miss it this morning, there's an opportunity this afternoon. I've gotten better at that too. Not feeling like I have to take every single trade. Helps me be a lot more patient. Take fewer trades and take better trades and eliminate the dumb ones. Looking at data helps that a lot too. Just seeing on paper that on days where I take 8 to 10 trades, I'm usually red, or I barely scraped by with break even or making $100 or something. But on the days that I take 2 trades, then I have my best profit days, or 3 trades, only a couple days or a couple trades per day. So seeing that actual data has been a major light bulb moment for me. If I just eliminate those dumb trades and wait for the good ones, then I can make a lot more money. So patience is easier that way. Makes it a lot easier to sit through a move like this, for example, where I'm I could have just gotten long at market open and I'd be in the money. That's all right. It wasn't my trade. I'm going to wait for the right setup. We're kind of starting to reject at that point of control. I always love marking off previous value areas and point of control from previous sessions. They end up being pretty good targets. You can actually see here, I took a trade early this morning and targeted yesterday's value area low, which it ended up going lower, but you can see that that was pretty much where it bounced. It's amazing how those are usually pretty good targets, pretty good support and resistance. All right, I'm gonna start deleting some of these lines, getting a little crazy. It's holding above this New York anchored VWAP right now. Kind of chopping around this overnight VWAP. Let's see where our opening range is so far. Here's the 15-minute low. And then we got our 15-minute high up here. So far, got about 3 minutes left. Anyone in the chat hop in a trade early? Right at market open? Did anyone jump in a trade? Hello, Brian. How's it going? Good morning. Kind of at a decision point right here. This is that overnight VWAP and point of control from yesterday. Could be a possible spot for a rejection. We're also at the 15-minute opening range high, which will be set here in a little over a minute. So, wonder if we're going to continue higher or if this is going to be where we start to pull back a little bit. Staying flexible this morning, because all last night we kind of had a correction, but big bounce off of that previous day low, so it defended that for sure. It'll just be interesting to see if that is the bottom and it holds and we're going up today, or if this is just going to kind of be a lower high overall and we're going to go lower. So I feel like this is a pretty big turning point or a pretty big line in the sand to give us some indication of where we're headed today. Austin mentioned that I'm from Texas. Yes, I am. I live in Texas. I live in the Houston area, just south of Houston. I've lived here for about a little over 20 years. Originally from Southern California. That's where I grew up. I was born and raised there. Then moved to Texas. All right, well, breaking out to the upside. Our 15-minute range is set. We are getting some momentum up. I don't love to take the first break because a lot of times it can be a fake out, but we are above VWAP and we're starting to get some volume, you guys. Let's see if we get a little pullback and then possible long. I want to see if it pulls back and it reacts at this 15-minute opening range high and it starts to bounce again. Let's see, let's see. Is it going to give us a little pullback back to that range high? Or are we just going to shoot to the moon from here? What's it going to be? Let's see, if, just kind of playing around with risk to reward, if we were going to enter long there, I would probably put my stop below that wick. That's the only hesitation that I have, is the stop loss would need to be so big. I don't like that. I would love to get it to pull back a little bit. It's kind of what I'm hoping for. If we get a pullback, I think I'll try a long. Let the games begin. Let's see. Are we going to get a pullback and hold that range high, or is this whole thing just a fake out? Oh, Jose, you're in the Heights area? Oh my gosh, yeah. You're real close. All right, you guys. I did enter long. Let's see if we get some continuation. I don't like that it's stopping there. I'd rather see it get some momentum and go up. This is the high of day anchored VWAP. So it could be rejecting that. I'm going to get ready to kill it quick if it doesn't start moving up. My actual entry was a little bit higher. And my stop loss I'm going to put right here at 688. If it comes below there, I don't want to be in it. It's holding. Although we have quite a few spots up above where it could reject. Value area high. If we zoom out a little bit, this area at the Asia high, 780-ish, I feel like would be a good target if we start to move higher. 775 or so. Come on. Are we going to get a move higher? Makes me nervous that ES is trending down and then I'm longing NQ. What's up with that? So weird. Come on. Is it going to hold the range high or is this going to be a fake out on me? What's it going to be? I just realized I wasn't sharing my trade screen with you guys. I'll put it up there. 723.50 was my entry. And then what am I looking at? If it goes up to Asia high, I feel like that's a pretty good target. Unless this thing just starts shooting to the moon. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just too much of a bear. But I feel like more all-time highs is just like unreal. I mean, I know we did have a pretty big correction and we held and bounced off of that 600 level, so I guess it could be up from here. But that just seems wild. Right now, we're rejecting that all-time high VWAP. Or we're holding right below it. Smash that like button, people. Thanks, G-Man. Yeah, if you haven't already, go hit that thumbs up button. I'd appreciate it. Coach Set, are you long? And you have a stop loss at 704? Yeah, two wheels, tighter stop would be good. I agree. I was kind of looking at that tiny little fair value gap on the 1 minute. I feel like I just wanted to give it a little bit of room to be able to like wick down and fill that fair value gap and then bounce up. So I guess I could move it there. That was kind of my thought process. And then what would that be? 692. The New York anchored VWAP is currently at like 693. I think that was my thought process on the stop loss, is just to give it a possibility to bounce off of that VWAP. But yeah, if it comes down below this opening range, I'm not going to be in love with the trade anymore. Full degen, 3 minis. Dang. Here I am with my baby micros. It's looking like it wants to hold, but that could just be me reading into it because I'm in a long and I want it to go higher. It could also be rejecting because we have this all-time high VWAP that it's not getting above. I don't like it, you guys. My best 15-minute opening range breakout trades are when we have momentum and it just like has a quick little retest and bounce. I don't like it when it chops like this. It makes me feel like it's rejecting. It's starting to look weak. Don't be jealous. This is insanity. Coach said, hopefully that was like a super cheap eval or something like that, and you're not trading funded accounts. Unless you have like a $10,000 buffer or something. That's a big position. Getting a little bounce, but still no continuation. I don't love it. Haven't even looked at Bookmap. What do we have going on there? Bookmap looks pretty dark below with quite a few orders above. $81 orders at 762. That is a little before Asia high. That's interesting. Kind of in this region. I wonder if we're gonna hold. Gold is golden so far. What's gold doing? Gold is going down. All right, so NQ is opening up, or it opened up, and then someone was saying they were looking at a short on ES. ES definitely looks more like it's still in a downtrend and it's rejecting that VWAP. That kind of just looks like a bounce to reject more. Again, very interesting how different they are right now. All right, 5 minute on NASDAQ starting to get a little bounce. Is it gonna go? Is she gonna go? Come on. Sometimes I like the 5 minute. It makes me like calm down a little bit. The 5 minute actually looks a lot better right now. The 1 minute is like, up, down, up, down, up, down. All right, B Frosty, you're talking about being short on gold, right? I hope. You better not be short in NASDAQ. Everybody in the chat needs to give long NASDAQ vibes right now. Get out of here if you're trying to short. Just kidding. If you have insider information and I need to kill my position because we're going lower, then just let me know. Good afternoon from Germany, Marcus. Good morning, Contract Shark. Oh, man. Are we going to get some continuation? All right, I have my stop loss in. I don't have my target yet. I'm going to put it up just below that Asia high at 775. Let's see if we get there. There we go. Starting to get some movement. Come on. Hager is short. Yeah, I kind of feel like the overall trend today might be lower. That's kind of my thought. That's why I'm just taking a little, in my opinion, like a scalp long just to Asia high, and then we're going to get a rejection. Or we could reject here. It's still stuck below that all-time high VWAP. And then this gray shaded region is actually a high volume node that I marked off from, I think, the 30-minute time frame. So there's been a lot of trading in this area too. So this whole region could be a spot for a little bit of resistance. So I could be wrong. Let's see if it breaks through that anchor VWAP. If it does, then I feel like we have a clear sky to Asia high. I don't really want to hope for a home run trade on that one, just because that's been a pretty good spot for resistance this morning or overnight last night. But we got to break through this spot right here, break above like 740. Looking good now. ES and NQ are moving the same now. Yeah, that was an interesting open for sure. I wasn't really watching ES, but like seeing people talk about how it was rejecting VWAP and going lower and they were considering short, and I was in the middle of considering a long. It was a weird open. All right. Let's see if, like I said, if we can break above this little area of resistance that I have, get up around 742-ish. Then we also have yesterday's value area high too. So I could be pushing it, hoping for getting back up to Asia high. But so far, we have opened up bullish this morning in the New York session. So gonna go with the momentum. Shez Miguez, are you long on this 15-minute opening range breakout too? I know Coach said he is with his giant position showing us all up. Yeah, 740, 742-ish. That's kind of the spot I'm looking at too. There we go. There we go. $750 is where yesterday's value area high is. All right. I'm going to go ahead and move to break even. And let's see if we can get up to that Asia high spot. Right where it was rejecting last night. It's all right, Shazna, guys. Don't feel FOMO. I know yesterday you were kind of talking about that, like chasing some trades. I think that was yesterday. Remember, there's always another opportunity. If you miss this one, be patient, wait for the next one. Oh my goodness. This slowness has been killing me, you guys. I think that's why I prefer NQ to ES. Probably because that's the first thing I traded, so I was used to the volatility and the craziness of it. That's just kind of how I learned. So then when I started watching ES, I was like, oh, this is like watching paint dry. It's just slow. So now when we have markets or days like this where it just doesn't move, or I have to sit in a position for like 15 minutes, I'm like, oh my goodness. What is this making me wait stuff? There you go, Shazma, guys. Way to be a team player. Wait until it gets to my target and then you can take a short. I love it. How are we looking on Bookmap? It still looks like the move is up in terms of the heat map. We don't really have much below us. We have a lot above. Oh my goodness, there's stuff up at like 800, 825, 850. Well, dang, kind of makes me want to move my target and like scale out instead of just getting full out. All right, chat, tell me what I should do. Do you think I should get fully out at 775 or should I just take off 1 or 2 contracts and then leave a runner? To be totally honest with you guys, that's one thing that I struggle with is not feeling FOMO. Like if I get fully out of my position and then it continues a lot higher and then I'm like feeling like I should have stayed in or wanting to chase the trade. B Frosty says take it all off. All right. I'll be smart. I won't be greedy. It's hard though. Like if it just busts through this and eats up all those orders on Bookmap and moves up to like 850 and I miss out on 75 of those points, that's where my biggest struggle is. And looking back through my journals, that's where my tilt moments are. Because then I'm like trying to chase the trend and re-enter to catch more of the move. And that's where I start to do stupid stuff. So again, I need to remind myself there's always another opportunity, right? I'll preach that same thing to myself. Yeah, good question on Bookmap. My perspective is, well, you can't really tell if it's a sell or a buy order, so that's a good question. I kind of just use those as confluence for my targets. So like, for example, if I'm looking at my chart and like I see resistance up here at 780 and then Bookmap also shows a whole bunch of orders near 780, then I'm like, oh, okay, that's a good target. Another thing I've noticed too is orders on Bookmap can actually be an area of resistance. Like, for example, if right now there's 46 orders up at 22,800. It doesn't always go up to 800. It could stop right before then. So I usually front run my target, and maybe in that example I'd get out at like 792 or something like that. So, but I also get messed up by Bookmap sometimes. Like what I just said, where currently I'm targeting 775 and I see a whole bunch of orders up at 800 and 825. So I move my target and then it never ends up going up there. So I keep Bookmap up in the background and I'll look at it every once in a while, but it's definitely very low on my list of confluences. I usually look at that last and just try to trade price action first. G-Man hit his daily profit target on the futures desk. Nice job. I've hit my daily profit target in my Tradeify accounts, and then I locked myself out on Top Step. So futures desk is the last one. I feel like it's always a little bit easier to trade when I'm already green and locked out in some of my other accounts, and it's just a little less stress. Like I was able to size down on this position and not feel FOMO. Definitely easier to trade that way. Oh yeah, Apex, you can't afford pullbacks. You have to take profits with that intraday drawdown. That does not work with my trading style. Like you guys have seen the way I trade. Like I take a smaller position and I try to catch a larger portion of the move. I don't like to just scalp for like 10 or 20 points. I'd rather be patient and wait for it to hit my target. But which means every once in a while it could come down and I'll get out for like $57 instead of my unrealized profit of $200. So intraday drawdown is not good for me at all. Slowly making its way up there. Then it'll be interesting to see if we hit Asia high and we reject. So that'll be the next thing I'm watching for. Or we have our initial balance set here in about 14 minutes, so we could take a trade off of that too. But the real question is, has everyone here gone and liked the stream? Have you all hit the thumbs up button? That's what I really want to know. At this rate, this is gonna take another like 15 minutes to get to my target, y'all. Oh my goodness. Krista, hour range. Do you use to identify Asia and London sessions when marking up your high low? Like what time do I use? What hour range? So I'll be totally honest with you on that because I don't know if it's always right. So I use this indicator and I've kind of just used their basic like template. But if there's like a clear high and low, like Asia, this is the low, this is the high. For me, that's a very clear point. For London, I did not mark off the London high. Well, I mean, now the London high is our current high because the London session is still open. But originally, if you can see my cursor, the London high was here at like 7:47 before the New York session opened. And that just didn't look like a good area of interest to me, so I didn't even mark it off. So a lot of times I'll just mark it if it's like a clear, like it came up, it rejected, that's the high. So I hope that answers your question. And then what hours? Let me look at the indicator. So this has it set. So Tokyo, this is Central Standard Time. So this would be 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. I don't know. That's what it has it set at. This is European London time is 8:30 to 4:30. So I don't know how accurate this is. I have seen a lot of videos where they say do from like my time zone, 6 p.m. Central Time to midnight for Asia, and then like midnight to 6 a.m. for London, and those are the highs and lows to mark off. So yeah, there's definitely different opinions on that. So I don't know if mine are right. But that's what I use. Is I use this indicator. I just go with their standard settings, and then I kind of use my own discretion. If there's a clear point, then I'll mark it off. If it didn't really look like an area that would be of significant interest, then I don't mark it off. What did I say? It's going to take like 15 minutes to hit my target, and it's only 15 points away from here. My goodness. Futures desk looks nice. Brian, this is Project X. It's definitely my favorite platform to trade on. I really like it. I think my favorite things about it is the copy trading ability with the bracket orders. So to be honest with you, the only other thing I've used is Trade-of-8/NinjaTrader, which is pretty much the same thing, and then Project X. So I don't have a whole lot of experience with other platforms, but I don't like the copy trading bracket order usage in Trade-of-8. It's pretty clunky in my opinion, and you can't really access it from your phone. If you guys have ever looked at the Trade-of-8 phone app, it's horrible. It looks like someone made it in 1990 and never changed it. And I know 1990 is an exaggeration because they probably didn't have apps back then, but you know what I mean. It's horrible. So I don't typically trade from my phone, but I will definitely manage my positions from my phone. Like if I want to get up and grab some lunch and like adjust my stop loss or whatever, you can do all that from your phone really easily on Project X. And then the bracket orders are much better too. Project X is free. It's included if you trade with the platform. So Project X is with, it's what Top Step uses, the futures desk. I also trade with Top One Futures. They use Project X. So any of those prop firms, you get Project X for free. It's included. And then if you guys haven't checked out the futures desk in terms of prop firms, they have the most fair rules I've seen anywhere. And I've traded with a lot of different prop firms. And right now, actually, I haven't told you guys in a while, but they have a 60% off sale going on right now. It's good through July 4th. If you use my code Krista, it gives you 60% off. But they have the fastest path to live, and in live, they have daily payouts. And right now with that 60% off, it's the cheapest that I've seen out of any prop firms for that like ability to go live and get daily payouts and stuff. It's really good. I like it. Can't wait until Tradeify gets Project X. Yeah, the sucky thing is they keep like, I feel like it's a carrot and they're just tempting you with it. They kept saying like it's going to be Q1 and then it'll be Q2, and now we're in July and they still haven't given us a date. So I'm not going to hold my breath for it. All right, so it looks like it's going to hit my target eventually at some point here really soon. And then we'll see what it does when it actually hits Asia high. I front ran my target a little bit. Asia high is actually up at like 781. So we'll see what it does when it hits that level, if it rejects or if this slow grind up is going to continue. With the futures desk, would you say it's worth having one account or a max of two? I think two. I mean, why not? If you're comfortable with copy trading and you feel like you have a good track record, why not? Because what it does is just doubles the amount that you get in your live account. So like on my settings, for example, when I go live, I get to take that $2,000 buffer with me. If I have two accounts, I take both of them. So then I'll start with $4,000 live. So I don't see why not. You get a little bit more capital to trade. So Coach Set, you can do your eval with two accounts, and then once you pass and go live, they'll merge all of that money into one live account. All right, so it hit my profit target. It is currently hitting Asia high right now. So I'll give it a second to settle here, and let's see if we start to get a rejection. This maroon anchored VWAP is actually from the start of the week, like from Sunday night's open. So if we hold above that, then the trend continuation is going to be up. But I do feel like this is a potential spot for a rejection. We'll see though. I don't want to be too quick to short because we have been trending up all morning. Yeah, buddy. I got some celebrations in the chat. Hit my profit target. Let's go. Another thing that makes me a little bit nervous to short, other than the fact that we've been trending up all day, is looking at Bookmap, the heat map. There's nothing below. Like, it's just dark. And sellers are not showing any signs of joining the party right here. Man. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's see what we got here. Breaking right through that. We can still be patient. This could just be a liquidity grab and then we get a strong rejection. But levels up above that. I mean, it could come up to previous week value area high. That's a pretty good spot of resistance right there. Previous support. So like 818, 820-ish. But let's see. Let's see if we end up rejecting from this Asia high. We also have our initial balance being set here in about 2 minutes also. Coach said, I want to front run short contracts so bad right now. Like you want to short from here? Is that what you're saying? You guys, see, this is what I was talking about earlier. This is where I get frustrated when I got fully out here and then it just keeps running higher. I know, it was a nice trade. I should be grateful for what I got. I need to remind myself that I've had several mentors tell me that don't try to catch the whole move. Just take what the market gives you. I know. That's just, it's harder, easier said than done. An area for me to work on. How's the coaching with Futures Desk? Honestly, it's like, I'm amazed by it. It's a small firm. So, like, I actually can message the CEO and I asked a question about some stuff and he's like, hey, let's hop on a call. And he got on Discord with me and we had like a 30-minute call. So I'm guessing he doesn't do that for everyone. But like their customer service is amazing. And once you get to live, they have coaches available where you can hop on and like talk about your strategy or like risk management, whatever you need to work on. Their customer support is really good too. You usually get a reply within minutes during the week. And then even on weekends, they have that little auto reply that says like, our chat support is currently closed. We'll get back to you on Monday. But every once in a while, I'll get a reply on a Saturday or a Sunday. Not immediately, but within a couple hours. It's pretty cool. So their support's really good. And it is pretty neat that you get coaching included. Like once you get to the live phase, the coaching is included. And it's something that you could easily pay $100 an hour for with like paid services. Biblical says, I'm happy. I'm 26 days green, and happy with it, even though I could have held it for 10 times as much. Yeah, that's a good way to be. That's a good mindset. Just take what the market gives you. Just hit those base hits. Because, I mean, people have shown those memes and stuff like that where, you know, if you make like $300 a day times 5 days times 52 weeks, whatever that equals, but, you know, it ends up being a lot of money if you just make a little bit every day. Well, that Asia high was definitely not a liquidity grab and rejection. It just kept going straight up. Now, I wonder if we should be looking for a pullback to enter long. I mean, this Asia high was pretty good resistance. So it could possibly turn into support and we could be going higher. We are above that start of the week VWAP. I mean, we're above all the VWAPs right now. All-time high VWAP, start of the week VWAP. For me, I feel like the thing to do would be look for a pullback to enter long. Unless we get some sort of failed auction, which this is the initial balance high. That has been set now. Is that right? Did I mark it right? Nope. This is the initial balance high. So we're actually kind of above it right now. If we start to reject, then we could be getting a failed auction. Awesome, Brian. Yeah. So the futures desk is cool. If you haven't looked at their website yet, it's kind of a like build your own adventure thing on the eval. You can choose like what you want your drawdown to be. You can choose how many days it'll take you to pass your eval based on like how much money you want to make per day trading. If you want static drawdown, end of day drawdown, you get to choose all of that. And then based on your risk parameters, your price changes. So obviously if you make it super easy to pass, then your price is going to be more expensive. If you make it a little harder to pass, then your price is cheaper. But you can adjust it based on your style of trading. It's really cool. And then with that, the 60% off, the static drawdown is more expensive, but I mean, you could upgrade to the static drawdown since you get that big discount. Just a thought. All right, chopping around this initial balance high. Let's see if we get a rejection or a trend continuation from here. If we start to get some strong selling pressure, I'm not opposed to taking a short from here. Stick around, you guys. Remember, we are doing a Top 1 Futures account giveaway, but we'll do it later once price action slows down a little bit and we're not really looking for trades anymore. Right now, I want to see what's going on at this initial balance high. Oh my goodness. I was thinking failed auction. Maybe not. We're going up. There's still a chance, like I was saying, that 812-ish area. That was previous week's value area high, and then quite a bit of support over here last week. Or I guess what was it? Started it on Tuesday, last couple days. Pretty good support there. So that could be an area of resistance. Does anyone else in the chat trade initial balance, failed auctions, or trend continuation? Anyone else familiar with it? Top Cat says me. Chez Miguez says looking like a long. Possibly. I'm staying open. I'm staying flexible. I like this area of resistance up here at like 815-ish. We also have 103 orders at 812 on Bookmap, so that definitely could provide an area of resistance. That's right above our current price. So if we were to take a failed auction, I'm not saying that we're just going to dump all the way to the bottom of the range. That's not what I would be looking for, since the trend has been up all morning. I would probably just trail my stop pretty aggressively and come back down to like value area high or maybe New York anchored VWAP if we get some good selling pressure. But I could see a possible failed auction coming. We'll see though. I'm going to be careful with taking a short against the trend. Don't want to do anything crazy. Something to be careful of though. We have a lot of orders up above, so man, yeah, this could be a breakout trend continuation. Makes me nervous to take a long here just because we've been going up so much already and we haven't really had a pullback. So I don't really have a good foundation to put a stop loss under. Like I might put it here at like 790, but it's not like that was a good pullback. Yeah, I'm with you, Coach Set. I don't feel comfortable taking a long here. I'm leaning more towards short, but I want to see some good selling volume show up before I do that. Because if I was to like anticipate it and take a short now and put my stop loss right above there, it could keep kind of wicking higher a little bit and keep stopping me out. So I want to get some good selling pressure first. Mad Moxie passed your TFD eval. The futures desk done for today. Nice job. That's awesome. So the cool thing about that is now you're in the live brokerage phase. All you have to do is trade for your buffer, which there's no consistency target or like minimum days or anything like that. You could potentially get all of it done in one day. I probably wouldn't recommend that because then you might blow your account. But yeah, you're in the big show now. I'm not touching it today. I'll start it next week. That's probably a good idea to start it next week since tomorrow the markets close early. We have a bunch of news tomorrow morning and then the markets close early tomorrow. So tomorrow might be a crazy day, y'all. And then Friday it's closed. Okay, there we go. There's some sellers. Okay, I know my entry's not great. I feel a little bit like I'm chasing it, but I am going short, you guys. That's kind of what I was waiting for with the failed auction. But I wanted to get in because I feel like it got heavy and I took a small position. So even if I get stopped out, it's okay. I'm still within my $200 per trade risk. Let's see if it works out. $780.5 was my entry. And then I put my stop loss up here above that previous candle at 812. And then let's see if it gets down to New York VWAP. So the way I personally manage failed auctions is I kind of just see how momentum goes. Like if this is just a slow grind chop and sellers are not taking control, then I'll probably get fully out at like New York VWAP. But if this continues to be heavy and we have more 1 minute candles like that, then I could go lower, like maybe 15-minute opening range high or something like that. So for now, I'm just gonna watch and see. But that could be a fake out too. It could come and grab my stop loss. Graham says, I'll wait for the fair value gap for entry. Yep, I definitely could have been more patient. I said it right as I entered. I was like, I feel like I'm chasing this, you guys, but I'm entering. So, my bad. Could have been a fake out, that's for sure. Marcus, hit your daily goal. Awesome. Have a good rest of the day. All right, you guys. I'm kind of thinking that I got faked out here and it's going to go higher. Yup. I should have known based on Bookmap, just seeing all the red, all the orders up above, and pretty much nothing below. That's why I was kind of just hoping to get a bounce off of VWAP, but that one didn't work out. All right, on to the next. Yeah. Nasty, mean fake out. I feel ya. There's still a possibility for more downside. I mean, this region right here is a good spot for resistance in general. But now that I got faked out, I definitely want to wait for some more information. Same thing though, it could have gone either way. Like if I decided to take a long on a possible breakout trend continuation, I probably would have put my stop loss somewhere around here, and that would have gotten stopped out too. So either way, it was kind of just seemed like a stop loss hunt. Sasman, I think it's one of those days where people just keep trying to catch the top and fade the move, but it keeps moving up. So I think it's best to just take longs or wait. Yeah, I could see that. Well, I mean, like I said a couple minutes ago before I tried to short stupidly, it's above all the VWAPs. It's above the all-time high anchored VWAP. It's above the start of the week VWAP. So it's looking like longs are the play. It's just a matter of finding the right pullback. I was kind of hoping I could catch a little scalp short for the longer term move up, bounce off of VWAP. But I was wrong. That's all right. I feel like I managed my risk well. Still green overall for the day. Just less green, so that's a bummer. $100 up instead of $350 or whatever it was before. I'm a great trader. I'll bounce back. Thanks. Yeah, I feel like when I'm in my right mind and I'm like calm, cool, collected, thinking clearly, I feel that way. I'm like, no big deal. I took a paper cut. I'll find another opportunity. I just have to make sure to stay in this level-headed mindset instead of like, getting mad at myself and like flipping long all of a sudden because I'm mad that I took that short and then end up blowing the account. So, not gonna do that. G-Man, thinking of taking one more trade, but I locked it up. There you go. Good job. Okay, another thing about Project X, whoever was asking, I think that was Brian. That's another thing I love about Project X is the lockout feature. To protect me from myself. When I start having that feeling of like, like I'm going to win it all back, or like I'm overconfident and I'm starting to size up, or maybe I realize that it's a choppy day and I'm not reading the market well, you can lock your account so that you can like force yourself to walk away and not trade anymore. Because if you're anything like most of us, for a second we decide that we're going to stop trading and then we walk away, but 5 minutes later we come back and we enter another trade and do something stupid. So if you lock yourself out, you can't do that. You can come back tomorrow with a fresh mindset. JC, good morning. Am I a full-time trader or do I have other businesses? So I just sold my gym. My husband and I ran a gym. So we sold that, and now my husband has a job and I trade. This is what I do. And I have the kids home with me during the summer. So that's my full-time job. That's the real job right there, is keeping them entertained. Oh, you guys, I'm wanting to take a short again. Not right now. I'm not going to do it right now, but like I have this area that was a big area marked off as resistance. And that's where it's getting held up. If we start to see more selling pressure and like close back below this initial balance high, I might take another stab at it. Starting to sell off. But still holding above that initial balance high. So it could just be a pullback for trend continuation. We do have lots of orders up on Bookmap right now. Where are we headed? We're going to bounce and go higher? Or is this where we reject? Did buyers finally get tired? Are we ready for a pullback? Still wanting to short, you guys. Oh man. We're getting a bounce off that initial balance high, but it's not very convincing. What would my position sizing look like if I got in there? 25-point stop, that's not too bad. Target down to New York VWAP. Coach Set says the bookmap stream is short. That's what I'm leaning towards. All right, you guys, I'm going to do it. Couple reasons for it. It's rejecting at this area of resistance that I had marked off. Coming back down to initial balance high, but it's not really showing a strong bounce for continuation. And then also the risk to reward is decent. And that's one thing that I like to look at. I'm going to put my stop loss up above this previous wick. And then if I get down to the New York anchored VWAP, that's a little over a 2-to-1. I like that. So we'll see if we get it. And then if we get some strong selling pressure, we could target below New York VWAP too. See if it goes a little bit lower. What's my actual entry? 806.75. So I only took 3 contracts on this one. I use this risk to reward tool, and I have it set to where I risk $200 per trade. So this is telling me to take 3.6 contracts, so I rounded down to 3. If we get confirmation of a close below, and this is like a confirmed failed action, we could possibly look for a spot to add more to this position if the opportunity presents itself. But I would also want to be able to lower my risk a little bit too, to keep my risk less than 200 per trade. Yep, I'm with you, Coach Set. I don't like that Bookmap has a lot of orders above. But I still feel like we have the opportunity to come down to VWAP and bounce before continuing higher. But again, I could be wrong. Oh, and it looks like I am. My rule of thumb is I can give the same idea 2 tries. And then if I lose twice, I'm done. Done with that idea. Like, gotta move on, find new information, find a new trade, find new confluences. If I try the same idea twice, then I'm done with that idea. Not looking good though. All right, so the trend is continuing higher. I'm out. Man, there is just no pullback today. This is wild. Crazy, crazy. So back to pretty much break even in this account. Wah wah, that's a bummer. On the plus side though, I'll show you guys that trade I took this morning. Copy traded in my accounts and hit 702 in that one, so I locked myself out there on my Tradeify accounts. So that's fun. Make myself feel a little bit better about those last two losses. Ah. All right. So, since I'm not reading it super well right now, I wouldn't even want a long here because we're not getting continuation up. It's not like this is just breaking out of initial balance high and like shooting to the moon. So I don't want to be in a trade that doesn't have momentum either up or down. So I'm going to stay flat right now. Be frosty. Got to look at the glass half full. I always do. Like, I hit my profit target in my other account. I've managed my risk really well in this account. Like, yeah, I could be up $350 and I could have stopped there, but took a couple losses. I'm down 37. It's okay. It's not like I blew my account and I've totally tilted. So I'm good. Live to trade another day. What I am going to do though, to get myself away from trading right now, is I'm going to get our giveaway ready. How many likes do we have? Let's see. Have you guys been nice enough to me to deserve a like, or to deserve a giveaway? 31 likes. That's pretty good. I think my record is 33 though. Can we get 35 likes before we do a giveaway? Can we beat my record and get 35? We just need 4 more. And then I'll add the form in the chat. We got a 50K pro sim funded account from Top One Futures. Copy trade our likes. Yep. I know, it's a bummer. It's only 1 per person. Well, the trend is continuing up. Is anyone in a long? I hope someone's making money off of this. Is anyone long? Tell me in the chat. Maybe I can live vicariously through you. Who's long? I forgot about my coffee. It's been sitting here and now it's room temperature coffee. It's not even cold coffee, it's room temperature. That's all right, it's still delicious. Brian's in a long. There you go. We can give little celebratory emojis in the chat for Brian because he's winning. And I'm not, but Brian's winning. Let's see, where are we at? Where are we at, you guys? I'll refresh my screen. 39 likes. That's a record. All right, can we get 40? Oh, I should invest in the Ember mug. You recommend it. Is that one of those mugs that like keeps it hot forever? So I have a couple of cups that like have the lid on it and they're stainless steel so it keeps the heat in. But I don't use those because it keeps it too hot. And like I burn my tongue the first couple sips because it just won't cool off. So then I just use like a regular coffee mug and then, you know, in 10 minutes it's cold. So I can't find the perfect happy medium there. we're still at 39. Is there one more person here that hasn't liked the stream yet and we can get to 40? That would be so fun. I'm having fun, you guys. All right, let me get this form ready for you guys, and then I'll give you a couple minutes to fill it out, and we'll do a little drawing for it. Price is just chopping around now. That midday low volume seems to be starting early. I need to find a good wheel spinner. I don't remember which one I used last time. Oh, we got to 40. I love it, you guys. I love it, I love it. All right, I got my form ready. I'm gonna put it in the chat here. So this is a Google form. Put in your name, your YouTube name, and then your email. Don't worry, I'm not gonna spam you. So give me a valid email. That is just so that if you are the one who wins the giveaway, I know where to have the prop firm send it to you. So give me a good one. Coach said is short. We did hit right below that 850 level. We have pretty good resistance here. See, look at this high volume node. That's why I have that gray shaded area marked off. Looks like a good spot for resistance. Oh, man. I want to be short too, but like I said, 2 times of the same idea. I don't want to keep getting chopped out. What would that risk be? It's not much. I mean, the stop loss could be 14 points. It's not bad. You keep scalping those super quick ones, man. I'm not actually in this short, you guys. I'm just playing around with it. I do like this area, though. Still looking at Bookmap, but I mean, I see lots of orders up above. The overall trend is up. We're above all these VWAPs. VWAP trend is up. It's probably dumb to try to short. So I have the form in the chat. You guys can start filling it out. I'll give you all about 5 minutes or so. And then I'm gonna find a little wheel spinner that we can use. So fill out the Google Doc that I put in the chat. Fill out the form, you guys. Enter your name, YouTube name, and your email. And like I said, put in your a valid email. I'm not gonna spam you guys. That's just so I know where to email you the account if you win. Give you guys a couple more minutes since I know sometimes people like step away or whatever. The form's in the chat, you guys. Fill out that form and we'll do a drawing here in a little bit. Price is starting to go down. I wonder if this is actually going to be where we pull back. Looks like buyers are starting to get a little bit more tired. But man, that's just been all kinds of up today. Not much of a pullback. All right, guys, we still have a couple more responses coming in. I'll give you guys like 1 more minute. Go fill out that form and we'll do a drawing for the giveaway. No point in shorting right now, to be honest. Yeah, I feel ya. Sticking with my rules. Like I said, I'll try the same idea twice, but 2 losses, I'm done. Not going to try it anymore. At this point, I would just, if a pullback happened, I would let the short happen and then find a spot for a long. Like maybe if it came down to this New York anchored VWAP or something around there. Some sort of pullback in this region with a good bounce I could see if we ever get a pullback though. I don't know. Might not happen. All right, guys, let me make sure I got all your names. And then I'll pull it onto the screen over here so you guys can see it. And then I'll give you a chance to confirm that everyone's name is on it too. All right. Give you a quick second, look real quick to make sure your name's on there. If it's not, tell me in the chat and I'll fix it. I just copied them all from the form though, so we should be good. All right, no one commented. Everyone must see their name. Drum roll. Dun, 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 dun. You guys ready? I have fun making these a big deal. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's see. Jonathan. Jonathan, are you in the chat? Must be present to win. Tell me if you're here, Jonathan. Jonathan, type in the chat. Next. Jonathan must be next. All right, cool. Awesome. What I'm going to do, Jonathan, since I have your email, I'm going to get with Top 1 Futures and have them send it over to you. They're usually pretty fast. You might have it by today. If you don't have it by today, then, or if you don't have it by tomorrow, give them a day to give it to you. If you don't see in your email by tomorrow, let me know. I copied them all from the form, Wick for stops. What is your first name? Yep, all the names are right here. What's your first name? Do I do giveaways often? Right now I've been doing like once a week. Making it fun. One account a week. Oh, Beverly, I'm sad you missed it. You're one of our OGs and you missed the giveaway. Sorry, girl. Daily giveaway. I don't know, man. Are you sponsoring that? No, Top 1 Futures has actually been awesome and given me an account to give away each week. But we'll see if I can get some other people to give me some giveaways too. It's fun. All right. So Jonathan, I'll get that sent over to you once the stream's over. For now, price is kind of just chopping around here. So, like I said before, hit my daily limit of 2 losses on the same idea. I was trying a failed auction short. So no longer looking for shorts, even though that's what my brain wants to do. I feel like we're going to reject here, but I'm not going to do it. I think if I was to take another trade, I would wait for the pullback and then enter long so I can stay with the trend. So something maybe down to this region and then up. So what I'm going to do, like I typically finish the stream with, I'm going to set an alert down here around New York anchored VWAP. Another confluence for that is I like to use this visible range volume profile. So if I zoom out a little bit, let's see if there's some confluence for that area. Yeah, pretty decent. There's a pretty good high volume node there. I think if it pulls back there, I'd be interested in a long. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do, you guys. I'm going to step away so that I don't keep staring at the charts and trying to find a trade that isn't there. That's where I get myself in trouble by over trading. So I'm going to set an alert, and if an opportunity presents itself, I will take action on it. Good stream today, you guys. I had fun. Hope you all finish your day green. If you keep trading, trade safe. Talk to you later, y'all.